Chapter 1. Your martial art is flawed. I was jousting the other afternoon. You know, the old get on a horse in your armor kind of thing. Lance in hand, I proceeded to charge at a breakneck speed toward my opponent. And, per the rules of the tournament, he did the same thing, hurtling toward me. Our goal? Knock each other off the horse in order to score a win while hopefully not dying in the process. Most martial artists haven't done anything like that, but Lawrence has a few times, and we're going to use the insanity of jousting to prove that your martial art, whatever it is you practice, has a flaw in it. In fact, your martial art doesn't have just one flaw, it has untold flaws, and they were placed there deliberately. You see, danger and practice are set next to each other, a paper-thin distance separating them from one another. Let's make a list. Jousting is a martial art, a medieval one, and it's still practiced today. Competitors try to skewer each other with long, pointy sticks, not to cause injury, but rather to shatter their lance on the other guy's shield or upper torso, or knock him from his steed. But they have to survive the encounter in order to continue to participate in the activity. Consequently, there are flaws built into jousting. Start with armor. It helps stave off damage. There's also a specially designed shield that's used to improve safety. Together they keep the lance, and any shards, should it shatter, from penetrating the competitor's body and blunt the impact of being hurled to the ground from a solid hit that knocks you off your horse. And there's a specially designed tip on the jousting lance too, one made with a frangible pine or balsa wood tip. On an actual battlefield, the horse and armor are much the same, but the tip of the lance is different. It's made of steel, hence designed to kill. That doesn't guarantee penetration through the armor, but that one variation alone makes lances deadlier on the battlefield than on the tournament field. For those of you who are history buffs, Henry VIII, 1509 to 1547, enjoyed jousting. He sustained a head injury during a tournament in March of 1524 and was never quite the same afterward, suffering a lifelong affliction with headaches. The term traumatic brain injury hadn't been coined yet, but symptoms include confusion, blurry vision, irritability, headaches, and difficulty with concentration, among other things. That sure sounds like he suffered a severe concussion from the incident. Google his history if you'd like to know more. The mixed martial arts of today have rules, tons of them. There are no headbutts, fish hooks, eye gouges, biting, hair pulling, pile driving, strikes to the back of the head or neck, throat strikes, downward elbow strikes, stomping, small joint manipulation, etc. As of this writing, the unified rules of mixed martial arts span 13 pages, all designed to give practitioners some level of safety. That's the flaw, and let's face it, it's a good one. By removing the most dangerous applications from the mix, donning padded gloves, and leveraging referees and sideline medics, it's fun and reasonably safe to compete. In judo, the Olympic sport, children are not allowed to choke. Maybe you can learn the technique when you're a kid, but you can't do it in competition. It's too dangerous. Karate, good grief. The tournaments and the rules. You can't strike the spine. You can't strike the kidney. You can't go against a joint. The list goes on. If you're a practitioner of arnis, hit the stick. Don't hit the fingers, please. Oh, that's going to happen. And don't hit the arm with force. Don't stab the body with force. Practice with safety. Practice with distance. If you're going to use a strong strike, you should learn how it works. You learn on your partner's stick, not his body. That's a flaw. Magellan showed up in the Philippines and said, "Hey, I think..." The Filipinos responded, "No. We have a different idea. We're going to beat your ass to death with these here wooden sticks." The flaw was removed. For those of you who don't get the reference, on March 17, 1521, Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, 1480-1521, was killed in the Philippine Islands. Though he had warships and the finest in guns, swords, and armor for both horses and men, he was lured into the surf beyond the range of his naval cannon, where he, along with most of his men, were beaten to death by a group of nearly naked savages armed with bamboo spears and rattan sticks. The signal-to-noise ratio is the key here, and it can cause confusion. The noise is focused on the flaw. The flaw brings safety, albeit living a paper-thin distance from injury or death. The advanced practitioner knows this, sees it, and adjusts accordingly. The advanced practitioner understands mentally that we're a whiff away from a serious moment, and in a legitimate self-defense situation, can adroitly cross that line when needed. Take the classic judo choke. There are 3 different ways of strangling someone: compressing the carotid arteries on one or both sides of the neck, compressing the windpipe to stop or reduce the flow of air to the lungs, or compressing the chest and lungs to prevent the other guy from inhaling, usually in conjunction with a pin or hold-down technique. A carotid choke cuts off the oxygen to your brain by closing down the artery in your neck. Done right, it's safe. If you move that choke a short distance, it starts to become dangerous because it presses on the trachea instead. Done that way, you may break the other guy's hyoid bone, the small horseshoe-shaped bone situated in the midline of the neck anteriorly at the base of the mandible and posteriorly at the 4th cervical vertebra. An intact hyoid bone is necessary for a person to breathe. The kicker in this, just like legal chokes versus illegal ones, in every martial art, there is a flaw. There has to be, or the art is not transferable. The art will not survive because people are maimed or killed while trying to learn it. So, yes, flaws. Flaws, please. They're chewy goodness. But if we focus on the flaws, we don't allow ourselves the full potential of the art. Knowing mentally how we go through the flaw and execute is good training. That's the key. Identify the flaw in a technique because it's noise on top of the signal. Here's a tip. The easiest way to see the noise, or the flaw, is to look for these phrases. And these aren't the only ones, but they'll guide you in the right direction. We're sure you've got a couple in your own mind or ones you've heard in your training too. They're phrases like, "this is safe," or "don't," or "that's not legal." These are simple indicators that there's noise on top of the signal, that you're looking at a flaw. That phrase is a beacon to let you hone in and cut through that noise and find the signal to cut through that flaw. The other clues are more specific to you. That's your art. You could be going empty-handed. You could be going with a stick, knife, whatever it might be, but you've got to have the flaw. It's insane to work with a live blade. Now, there are people who do this, but they're at a high level and it's a controlled environment, or the practitioners wind up in the hospital, prison, or both. For the majority of us, and we mean the huge majority of us, it's a rubber knife, shock knife, chalk knife, or similar tool that replaces live steel. That's something that allows us to practice hard, yet come back the next day and do it again. That's the flaw. It's placed there for us, and it's good. We're going to leave the specifics of your art to you. Otherwise, it would be a projection on our part. The key message is this: don't be deceived by the flaw. It's not the path, it's the noise. It's the noise of safe comfort that allows us to practice and then transfer our art to others. Then they can begin to explore the places where the flaws are found. That noise creates safety for us. Yes, it's a challenge. It's a deep challenge, and it's one that you should undertake as a serious martial artist. Get to the signal and enjoy your martial art, because you're devoting your time, your money, and your energy to it. Get the most from it, get the best, and enjoy your training. Takeaways. Every martial art has flaws in it, and those flaws were placed there deliberately. Identify the flaws or safety measures in the martial arts you practice. Do not be deceived by those flaws. Navigate through them mentally for a deeper understanding of your art. Quotes. Every drill introduces a known flaw to assure participants' safety. Rory Miller. The price of training is always a certain trained incapacity. The more we know how to do something, the harder it is to learn to do it differently. Abraham Kaplan. The very essence of martial arts is the thirst for knowledge and the truth about ourselves. Frank Shamrock.